My experience was good. I got to meet awesome people. I got to have awesome teachers. And then I had the opportunity to also work here on campus. So it was really My experience was good. I got to meet awesome people. I got to have awesome teachers. And then I had the opportunity to also work here on campus. So it was really good. It was really good. So far, it's been amazing.
I recommend Columbia College because of an opportunity to get a really good education.
Columbia College is like one of the most famous college in Vancouver. So here I am.
What I would definitely recommend is take all of that experience that you can.
I choose to study in college is because the study fees is cheaper than university and the class size is much smaller than university.
It's really, really nice because you get to know your professors, you get time to ask questions.
I think Vancouver is a city who has huge differences between where I came from. There is a lot of people who came from China, Philippines, and Indian.
It's a really good opportunity for me to know different people from different country and different background.
Columbia College is a really good place for people who are ready to work hard and study. And if you're ready to work hard, it's a really good place to be.
Go out of your lane, like get involved, get to meet people, go out there and volunteer, get a job somewhere, make friends from places you wouldn't usually go to, because you never know who you're going to meet there, and you will make awesome friends if you go out of your comfort zone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our pre-arrival session for winter 2021 students. My name is Carolina Bovi. I'm a digital marketing and social media specialist here at Columbia College, and I'm going to be hosting today's session. On today's session, we're going to talk about orientation overview, the key dates, registration requirements, and we're going to have a live question and answer session where you're going to be able to ask questions, any questions you may have. So I would like to first start by introducing Rose Black, our Student Services Manager. Rose, if you could please turn on your camera and mic.
Caroline, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear
you. Yes, perfect. Sorry about that, everyone. Thank you to everyone for joining us. We're so excited to get to know you over the next couple of months and help you with your orientation to Columbia College. I will just start with a summary of what we're going to cover today. So we are going to, and what orientation involves. So we will be talking about the format of orientation for the different types of programs that we offer, how information will be shared with you, what your registration will look like, and preparing for beginning classes on January 11th. So what does orientation involve? So your orientation to Columbia College involves different things to help you get familiar with the college, learn about our services, and prepare for classes. So we will share with you information about the learning platforms and technology that we use. At the moment, we use Moodle and Zoom, as well as our own student portal, which you will see when you begin the registration process. Orientation also involves getting to know other students, and I'll be introducing you to one of our student engagement ambassadors shortly, who will tell you a bit about what that process looks like. We will help you prepare for your registration. So that will involve learning about your program, the different requirements, having the opportunity to speak with one of our academic advisors about the right decisions to make for you in your future. And then making sure you're ready for classes. So making sure you have access to the learning platforms, the course material, and you're ready to begin as soon as your classes begin. So for our secondary students in our high school programs, that's grades 10 and 11, there will be online orientation on January 6th. There'll be course planning and registration with our high school counsellors on January 7th. And for those of you who are coming to Canada in the next few weeks, there will be an in-person orientation just for new high school students. So not for the university students, just for new high school students on Friday, January 8th. But an alternative will be offered for secondary students who are not traveling to Canada. If you are entering into our high school program, you will receive separate information from our high school team about your orientation. So don't worry about that. We will keep you informed. So I'm going to run through how orientation will work in terms of key dates so that you understand the different milestones that you need to meet in order to prepare for your registration. So from December 7th, so from Monday next week, you will have access to your Columbia College email account. It's really important you get familiar with your email account because this is how we will be communicating with you over the orientation and registration period, but for the duration of your studies at Columbia College. So all students who have paid their tuition deposit in full and have provided all required documents will gain access to this email account and your credentials for your Microsoft 365 accounts, which I will go into detail in a moment. If you have not paid your deposit by this date or not provided all of your documents, we will keep updating our data, so you will be given access, but it may be at a later date if you haven't met all of our requirements for your final admission. If you have questions about whether you need to provide documents, still all of this information is on your letter of acceptance, or you could reach out to our admissions team and they will let you know if you're missing anything before you can be finally admitted. So from December 15th, we will be asking our student engagement ambassadors to connect with you. They will connect with you through your college email and your Microsoft Teams account. We will give you all of the information on how to access your student engagement ambassador. And they are current Columbia College students who are here to help student services answer your questions, help you through the registration process, make sure that you know that you have all of the information that you need, and they'll support you to be ready for your classes on January 11th. So December 18th, this is the date that all new students for winter 2021 must confirm that they are planning to register. So if you still need a bit more time to make your decision, that's fine. You have until December 18th to decide. And on this date, we will give you access to our Columbia 101 module on Moodle, which is our main learning platform. It's a self-paced program with informational videos, quizzes and activities that will help you not only learn about how Moodle works so you can complete your classes, but it will help you understand the different support services that we offer for all of our students and help you to know how you can get help when you need it. So from December 29th, after our Christmas break, we will host our welcome and registration sessions. So from this date, you'll be invited to attend different information sessions related to your program, your registration, and helping you to prepare for classes. So as well as meeting with your academic advisor and your student engagement ambassador, we'll also be introducing you to our library and to information sessions about our learning platforms so that you have everything that you need. We will be sending you all of this information through your student email account, so keep checking this for updates about these sessions. Attendance at some of these sessions, including the course planning and program planning sessions, will be mandatory in order for you to complete your registration. And the last day to register is Friday, January 8th. So Monday, January 11th is the first day of classes. Your student engagement ambassador will help you to prepare, as I've mentioned. Not all classes will begin on this Monday because some are scheduled for different days of the week, but this is the day that you need to be ready to be able to begin your classes. And importantly, January 18th, which is our second week of classes, is the last day for you to make any changes to your class or schedule. So all students have a week in order to attend classes, learn about the class outline, get to know the instructor and your classmates. And if you do need to change your mind, you do have a week to change courses. If you decide to change courses after this date, then there will be no refund. So now I'm excited to introduce one of our student engagement ambassadors. So Gurjishan, there he is. Thank you, Gurjishan, for joining us this morning. So it would be great if you could tell us a bit about yourself and then talk about your role as a student engagement ambassador at Columbia College.
Thank you, Rose. Hi, everyone. I am Gurjishan Singh, and I'm the student engagement ambassador at Columbia College. It's been 1 year that I have been studying at college now, and the experience has been really great. So as the student engagement ambassador, our team would be there to help you all out. We would be there to organize the meetings for you guys so that you can prepare for the registration. You are all set to go for your first classes. You know how to use various platforms like Moodle, Teams, and we'll make sure that you have proper access to all of them. Apart from that, we'll be always there to support you. If you have any questions, you can always send us an email or send us a message on Teams. And I guess that's all. We are very excited to have you in our college.
Thank you, Gurjishan. So I've received some questions already from students who are planning to travel to Canada, but they're not quite sure when they will be traveling. So if you are planning to travel during or after orientation, you still need to complete all of the tasks and attend all relevant sessions and complete your registration before January 8th. So it's okay if you do your orientation and registration in your home country and then travel to Canada. We just want to make sure that everybody has classes to attend, even if you're attending in your home country for a little while before you travel. It's still important that you complete everything before classes begin. And an added benefit is that registering early will allow you more time to prepare for your classes. So one requirement for all university level students is that they take the math placement test. We recommend you take this as early as possible so that we can help you determine which classes you can take. So all students registering in a university level math, econ or computer science courses are required to take the math test. And because some of these classes are required for every program, even arts programs, we ask students to take it before they register their first registration so that we can give you the best choice of courses possible. So if you haven't already, you will be contacted by a member of our admissions team about scheduling a date and time for your math placement test. So this is just a recap of the registration requirements. So firstly, we need you to pay your tuition deposit in full. You need to provide all documents that the college have requested, such as final transcripts. If you are unsure about whether you still need to provide documents, please check your letter of acceptance because the information will be on here. All university level students need to take the math placement test. You will need to complete the Columbia 101 module, which you will be given access to on December 18th, and you need to attend your orientation and information meetings about your registration. If you have any questions at any point, you can email us. Our email address is studentservices@columbiacollege.ca. We have a team of staff who reply to these emails Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 Vancouver time. And if you do email us, which we hope you will, please include your student number and your full name, because that will make it easier for us to help you. So that's the end of our orientation information. I'm excited to hear all of your questions. And Carolina, I think is excited to ask them on your behalf.
Yes. So just a reminder, if everyone could please put your questions on the chat, and we're going to start answering them. Thank you so much, Rose, for the presentation. There's lots of important information for our students. We'll also have this video saved and recorded in case you want to go back to it and see any parts of the slides. I would like to introduce the panel today. Rose, everyone already knows Rose. She's our Student Services Manager here at Columbia College. I would also like to introduce Anna Zima, our Student Services Director. Anna is also going to be asking any questions you may have today. Chelsea Osierno. Chelsea is very familiar here as well on our YouTube. You guys know her already. She's our Recruitment Manager. And Gurja Shen, our Student Engagement Ambassador. If you could please turn on your camera and mic as well. So I think we can get started. Let me see if we have some questions coming in. So we have one already for Anna, actually. So I have been placed at English 099 level, and I don't want to take it. Do I have to take it in my first semester?
So yes, English 098 and English 099 are courses that are required to take immediately, and they are condition actually of your ability to take UT courses. So if you are placed in 098, English 098 or English 099, you will be taking that course in the first semester. You can't opt out or postpone that registration. However, I think it is important for you to think about that class as a great foundation to learn how to write academic papers and how to function in North American educational system. It's a really good way of introducing yourself to our system and not maybe affecting your transcript, graduating your transfer transcript. We also noticed that students who do take English 098 and English 099 do much better or do really well in English 100, and that's the class that you will be transferring to your university, or that would be the class that is a required class for your associate degree. So you do want to do well in your English 100, and you do want to do well in your English 098 in English 099, because the better you do in those classes, the more successful you will be in all of the classes that you are taking, because you simply will be a better writer, you'll be more efficient, you'll know how to cite properly, you will be able to avoid plagiarism, and I think that you'll be needing to use our services, tutoring services and library services a bit less because of the skills you learn in those two classes.
Thank you so much, Anna. The other question is for Rose, actually. I'm traveling the first week of January to Canada. When should I attend my orientation?
Oh, that's a good question. I would recommend that you work through the different orientation steps that I've discussed. So getting familiar with your college email account with the Microsoft Office 365 suite, that you take the Columbia 101 module on Moodle as soon as you have access, so that you have all of the information that you need and you can have an idea of what questions you still have that you need answered. And then, as I mentioned, we will be starting our orientation and registration sessions from December 29th. So you should attend as early as possible. It would be really great if we could help you complete your registration before you travel. so that when you arrive, you can focus on your quarantine, on being well, and then on starting your classes. So that was a long answer. The short answer is you should register as early as possible, complete your orientation as early as possible, so that you can focus on what's important once January 11th comes.
Perfect. Thank you, Rose. And then just going through that, I see some questions asking if January 11 is the first day of classes. And yes, just to confirm, it is the first day of classes for some courses, right, Rose?
Yes, so we'll get into more detail about this in the Columbia 101 module and your registration meetings, but we have classes that meet on different days of the week. So some may meet on Mondays and Thursdays, some will be Tuesdays and Fridays, some will be Wednesdays and Saturdays, some could be 3 or 4 or 5 of those days. So there may be a case where you're registered as a full-time student, but your classes may begin on the Tuesday or Wednesday rather than the Monday. But that week is the week that classes begin.
Perfect. Thank you. And again, another question related to that. A student is just wanting to confirm if classes are going to be in person or online.
So all of the university classes are online, and we do have some chemistry labs that are in person, but those are classes that require a prerequisite. So all new students will not have, all new university students will not have classes online. If you're in our secondary program, which is our high school program for grades 10, 11, and 12, we do have in-person classes, as well as the classes being accessible online to students who aren't coming. We call that high flex. So students can attend in person if they're in the Vancouver area or online, and that's just the high school program.
Perfect. Thank you. There's tons of questions. I'm just trying to scan through all of them. A student is asking if he can attend orientation without getting his study permit.
Yes, so students can attend orientation and start studying at Columbia College without their study permit. However, we do have a waiver that they need to complete. I'm going to ask Chelsea to step in because she's more familiar with that process, and I want to make sure that you get the correct information.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rose. So essentially, if you don't have your study permit at the time of classes starting, that's okay, because December 18th, we've already told you this date is very important for you to confirm your classes. So if you wish to study online with us next semester and you don't have your study permit yet, we will be asking you to complete a waiver form that will go over all of the conditions by studying online without that study permit. So you're more than welcome to do this. It's your choice overall how you do this, but it is totally okay to start next semester without it. You will need it at some point to continue your studies for the second semester. But if you want to proceed this semester, and we highly recommend starting, delaying your studies any further because of the pandemic isn't really appropriate, because we don't know how much longer this is going to go on for. So if you have any specific questions about this, you're more than welcome to email the admissions team to get some more clarification on that before December 18th.
Thank you, Chelsea. And just to confirm, the admissions email is admissions@columbiacollege.ca. There's also a student, since we're talking about deferrals, they're asking what is the last day to defer?
Again, so by December 18th, we are asking you to make a decision within this. If you need some guidance about preparing to make your decision, please send us an email. We have indicated that some students who applied for May or September are not going to be permitted to defer right away. But as we said before, there is a case-by-case basis with this. So please send an email to either your recruitment officer, whoever you've been dealing with, if it's Akbukin or Adam or Trisha, or you can send it to the general admissions, and we will walk you through your options with deferral. But December 18th is the date, because we need to prepare for you to arrive and have enough classes available.
Thank you, Chelsea. We're having a lot of questions regarding the laptop assistance program. Are students of January intake able to participate in that program?
Yes, we have a laptop assistance program, which is the program involves the college providing $600 of non-refundable tuition credit to eligible students if they purchase a laptop that meets our specifications. This is just for students who are in Canada, unfortunately, just because the laptop has to be purchased in Canadian currency for us to be able to issue the tuition credit. If students have any questions about whether they'll be eligible, please email us, studentservices@columbiacollege.ca, with your full name and ID number, and we will check for you and we will give you all of the information so you can prepare and think about if it's something you would like to apply for.
Thank you, Rose. We also have a lot of questions regarding quarantine. I think, Chelsea, it might be for you. Students are asking if they don't know anyone in Canada. Is Columbia College providing a quarantine plan, or what do they need to do?
Yeah, that's a really great question because most people don't know a lot of people in Canada, right? So absolutely, we are able to assist students with this process. We will do it through the homestay program, which is our preferred method. We do have homestay families that are willing to help students quarantine. Rosemary Mooney is our homestay coordinator. She is spearheading this. We will be able to put you in contact with her. Just as a brief reference point, for the 2-week quarantine period, if you're getting your own bedroom and a private bathroom, it is $1,000. If you are doing a shared bathroom, I believe it is $800. And please keep in mind, all of your food, internet, electricity, and accommodation is included in this. So this is our preferred method. We will pick you up from the airport. We will drop you at your quarantine residence and make sure everything is safe for you. And then there are a few more options to stay in local hotels. I believe we have a few partnerships that are on the website you can take a look at. However, this is going to be much more expensive than doing the homestay route. So we recommend homestay as your quarantine option. So if you need assistance with this, contact us right away because we will be able to put you in touch to get this set up right away.
Thank you, Chelsea. And if you want to see the travel and isolation plan on our website, just go to columbiacollege.ca, and right on top, you'll see something written COVID-19 updates. Just click there and it's going to take you to our COVID page. We also have questions regarding if students start their classes without a study permit and their study permit gets rejected, what happens then?
Rose, do you want to touch or do you want me to do this one?
I think you can do this one. You know more about the
Okay, sure. Yeah, so this is obviously a little bit tricky, and it's something that we're hoping won't happen for students, but it could. So this is where that waiver form we've sent out will be very important because it is going to indicate the conditions of the refund policy. So I'm just going to briefly touch on this. If you register without a study permit, and for some reason your study permit is rejected, you will not receive a refund for the first semester of tuition that you registered in classes. You will, however, be able to complete the semester. You'll get full credit for those courses, like nothing's going to be taken away from you. However, you will not be able to register in second semester courses until you have a valid study permit, so you can reapply. Or you can get a refund. So as you all know, to come to Columbia College, you pay a 2-semester tuition deposit. We will refund you the second semester fees or whatever you didn't register in the first semester. So there's not much to worry about in the second semester. We're not going to keep your money. You will get this all back. So there is an element of risk with this. However, especially if you are on an approval in principle, we're hoping that there shouldn't be any problems for you this way. So send us an email. We'll get you this waiver form so you can take a look at it. You can familiarize yourself with the conditions. But yeah, we hope, fingers crossed, this won't happen to anybody.
Thank you, Chelsea. Rose, we have lots of questions as well regarding the math placement test.
Okay.
So how can students take the test from out of the country? And again, are there any set dates for the test?
So the test is taken online through a web testing platform. Once you are signed up, you will be given login information to access the test. On the college website, in the future students section, there is a part about the math placement test. In there is a study guide and some sample tests, so you can familiarize yourself with the type of questions. Obviously, looking at those on paper is very different to what it looks like on the platform. So on the day of your test, you are able to log in early, and there's some practice questions so you can get familiar with the platform. The test is between 90 minutes and I think 120 minutes, depending on your math level in high school. And in terms of when the test will be scheduled for you, the admissions team will be contacting you. I believe once you confirm that you're planning to register, you will be contacted with your test date. We do have set dates. I believe that they are starting next week, and we recommend that you take the test as early as possible.
Perfect, thank you. Gurjashan, actually a question for you here. How was the transition from in-person classes to online classes? What did you find as a student? And what would be an advice that you would give to our students that are a little bit concerned of taking the classes online?
Okay, so I know that you all won't be able to get the in-person experience for your first semesters. It was really great, but don't worry about it. There's nothing to panic about. The classes are very smooth. You just log into your computer, go to your Moodle or Teams, attend your class, and that's it. You can do it from your bed, your home, and you don't have to travel, and that's the most important thing.
Thank you. Which material would you recommend students to have? Because I know there are a lot of questions of if they need laptops, or what would you recommend students to have to take online courses?
Okay, so college recommends having a laptop, but there are some classes which can be attended even from a tablet or your smartphone. Apart from that, for the study materials, there are plenty of ebooks available, and many instructors do provide you with their own sources, so you don't need to get access to ebooks actually.
I'd just like to add that I mentioned previously, but as part of orientation, you will receive an introduction to the library, and we've moved our library service online, and we have access to lots of different materials, course books, and things. So we will share with you how you can access those. And we also have a team who can help you to access paid course materials if your course requires those. So if you run into any problems accessing the course material before your classes start, just let us know and we will help you. We want you to have the material that you need for your classes to start.
Perfect.
If I can add something to that, I know that many of you are anxious to see the sort of course material that you may be accessing while you're taking your classes. You will not find out what that material is till the first week of classes. So first you will be attending your first class. You will be presented with a course outline, and during that class, the instructor will explain to you what sort of resources you'll be needing and textbooks. So for those of you who are really eager to start, we have questions often from you asking after registration, like, how do I prepare for my class? I want to start pre-reading. Unfortunately, you do have to wait till the first week of classes for your instructor to tell you how they will be teaching the class and what type of materials you will be accessing and how to access it. So it is very important that you do attend your first class, because there's a lot of information during that class that you don't want to miss.
Thank you, Anna. Since I have you here already, so a student's asking, they're in the arts program. Do they need to take the math placement test?
Yes. So I think that for art students, the idea of taking math placement test is particularly frightening. I think maybe I speak from my own experience. I guess I've started with arts and transferred into business and then transferred to arts again. So one of my fears was math. And I see the faces of students. Well, I remember when you guys were on campus, everyone was very anxious about taking the MPT test. The first thing is that you need to remember is you can't fail that test. It's not a pass-fail. Everyone has to take it. But it doesn't mean that you will be taking math courses. If you are in Associate of Arts, pursuing Associate of Arts degree, or you're transferring to arts to university, you may never take a math class in your life. But we still do ask you to take the MPT class. As Rose has mentioned earlier, it gives you access to classes like economics 101, for example. It's an introductory class to economics. It does require that you fulfill that requirement by taking the math placement test beforehand. Another thing that students often worry about is, if I have not studied math for a while, I worry that I'm going to do really badly on the MPT. If you do freeze and nothing comes to mind and you completely bomb it, you can retake the math placement test 10 weeks after your first attempt. So you will get a second chance to retake it. So I'm trying to kind of take the pressure off worrying about this test. I want you to do as well as you possibly can. But if that means that you take it, you bomb it, and you have to retake it in 10 weeks, so be it. You're not going to be the first one and last student to do it. I understand that if you're going into arts, math may, not be the subject that you've taken recently, and you may need to work a little bit on reviewing it before you retry the test. I don't know if Gurjashan can maybe share his experience on what it was like to take the MPT, but he would probably can get you through the emotional piece of it.
Like you, and I was also very anxious and like I fear math. So I was like, I was in India when I got to know that I will have to give this math test, and I was like, what should I do? How will I prepare for this? I haven't studied math for like last 8 months. I last studied in my high school. But once I went through the practice questions and the study guide, it was fairly easy. All students who have studied math in their high school, especially in India, it would be easy for you guys. And if you studied math even in your grade 12, then it would be very easy for you guys. You just have to review whatever you did in grade 12. Don't worry about it. It's normal, simple test, and you just don't have to pressurize or stress yourself about the test.
Perfect. Thank you. There's quite a few questions about refund policy again. If we can just go over that one more time for the students that might have just joined us. What is a refund policy for students that, again, do not get a visa after they started classes?
Yeah, so if you start classes, the refund policy is quite complex because there's lots of conditions that lead up to this. If you are a student that chose to study online without a study permit and you signed our waiver form, you will only receive a refund if you drop your courses before the drop date, okay? This also has conditions on it that you are in a semester that you are approved to defer your studies, okay? If you register in classes and you want to, say, drop your courses on February 15th, you will receive no refund of your tuition for that semester. Okay, if there is a visa rejection in the first semester, your second semester tuition will be refunded accordingly. Okay, so we encourage students to reach out to our admissions team directly if you have a specific question about a refund, because some of our students who are coming for January have applied in May and September, and there's many, many backlogs here. So it is a little bit different for each student. So I wish I could give you a more simple answer, but we know the world isn't black and white right now. So please reach out to us individually.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Another question about quarantine. So some students are asking if they know someone here, can they stay with a friend even though the room is separate? Or again, can they do that? And can their friend pick them up at the airport? Or do they need to go through Amigo and stay on our homestay? Rose or Chelsea?
Sorry, there was just a glitch in the computer there for a second. Yes, so students who are looking for a pickup, you must have Amigo transportation, arrange your quarantine arrival departure sort of from the airport. We know there is a bit of confusion with this because initially we had said students could take a taxi or a private vehicle. However, as a part of our DLI readiness plan, we are required to ensure the safe arrival of all international students into Canada. So what we need to do is have you book with Amigo Transportation, who is our partner company, who will pick you up and drop you off. This way, Columbia College has the assurance we know 100% that you entered our country and you have arrived safely in your quarantine. Okay, we know this is a bit frustrating for students because some of you have family here or people that are able to pick you up. So in that regard, I apologize, but you must use Amigo to do this because it is a part of our COVID readiness plan.
Thank you, Chelsea. And again, quarantine is mandatory in Canada once you arrive. So there's no option of not staying in quarantine. You must stay in quarantine for 2 weeks upon arrival to Canada. So we have some questions regarding changing classes once they already started the online classes. Is it possible for them to change courses and eventually the program, or can once they start their courses, they cannot change anything?
Yes. So yes and yes. So in terms of courses, so the classes that you select when you register, classes begin on January 11th and you have a week to change your mind in terms of a specific class. So for example, Econ 101, if you register in that and then you change your mind, you have 7 days to switch it to another class. That's fine. After January 18th, it's not possible to make changes to your schedule and the specific classes that you have picked for the winter 2021 term. In terms of changing your program, students can change their program at any time. It's helpful to do it at the beginning if you've been admitted to one program, but you think it's not quite for you after learning about the course requirements. We can help you with that change at the beginning. It's also fine for you to do that at the beginning of your second semester or later on if you try the courses that are required for the program and you're not getting on well with them, or you just think you would enjoy something else more. It's absolutely fine to change your program at any point. It's just important that you make sure that the classes that you do register in the future are meet the requirements for your program. So it's important, and we will walk you through this process during the registration meetings, that you understand the requirements for your different program and that you know what you need to do to meet the requirements, because we wouldn't like you to be registering in classes that meet one program, but then you want to go into another program and you've completed courses that don't meet the requirements. So it's not been a good use of your time. So like I said, we will explain to you how the program requirements work for each program so that you have the information you need, and we will help you with the process if you change your mind and you want to go into a different program.
Thank you, Rose. That's really helpful. So we have a few questions regarding where can students find the contact for Amigos. So again, if you go to columbiacollege.ca, at the top you'll see COVID-19 updates. You just click there, and then on the side menu you click on travel and isolation plan, and we'll give you exactly all the steps you need to take in order to plan your quarantine plan. Will we give support letters for students that want to travel to Canada?
Yes, we once we receive all of the information that we require, which I'll say it and Chelsea can tell me if I've missed anything. So we need you to submit the travel form on the college website. We need to see your flight itinerary or ticket. We need to know, have your quarantine plan, so where you're staying, who you're staying with. And we need to see proof that you've booked with Amigo for your airport transit. Once we have those 4 things, I think 4 is the magic number, we will issue you with a travel letter.
Perfect. Thank you.
So I just wanted to add that we also highly recommend that students purchase medical insurance through the college if they're planning to arrive before December 31st. If you need help with medical insurance, please email us and we will make sure that you have the insurance that you need for when you arrive.
Thank you. Rose, please email medical insurance at columbiacollege.ca.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I just want to build on this, guys. So Rose outlined perfectly all of the 4 documents you need. Once you have all of this prepared, please send it in one email with your full name, student ID, to orientation@columbiacollege.ca, because that will be very easy for us because it is in one place. Often students send us one by one, and they don't give their student number. It's very difficult for us to know and how to track through things if we don't have your student number. So any email correspondence with Columbia College from now on, please include your full name and your student ID. And that will make your life and our life way easier, and you'll get your letter much faster in that situation.
Thank you, Chelsea. Communicating with Columbia College, Gurjashan, how will the student engagement ambassadors communicate with students?
Okay, so student engagement ambassadors will send emails to all students on their Columbia College email accounts. Apart from that, we will be making groups on Microsoft Teams, which would be part of the Microsoft module which you get with the college. Those are the 2 main platforms where we contact students. Apart from that, we did send students email on their personal accounts last semester, but I need to tell you that it's very difficult to get in touch with students on those accounts. So official Columbia College platforms are the best contact.
I'd just like to build on that. So once we have everything confirmed, you've confirmed you're registering from December 7th, so next week, we will be giving you access to your Columbia College email so that you can get familiar with it. And we will be contacting you the majority of the time through that email address. And it's not just now, it's for the whole 1 or 2 or 3 years that you're a student at Columbia College. So it's important that you get familiar with it as early as possible.
Thank you, Rose. And we have a question on that actually as well. How will they have access to their Columbia College email? Are you going to send them an email to their personal email about that? Or yes. How can they gain access to that?
Yes, we will. That's a very good question. So for the first time we contact you, it will be on the email address that you provided with your application. So check that. If you've changed your email address, you can always contact the orientation email address and let them know your full name and student number and the preferred email that you would like to receive this information from. And then from next week, we will be sending you your Columbia College credentials. So your username and your password for your Columbia College email account and the Microsoft Office 365. We will also send the instructions on how to access them and our tips on how to make the most of them.
Thank you. Those are some really good tips. I think the main things, at least I've learned as a student, always email the college with your full name and student number at the subject, so it's easier for anyone receiving the email. And for you to not miss out on anything, always put your email on your phone. It's very easy, just connect there so you don't miss out on any important information. Let's see some more questions. I think we're going to take a few more and then wrap up this session. So a lot of students are not familiar with Microsoft Teams, and they're asking if we could explain a little bit about this Microsoft account.
Yes. Okay. So I'll go back. So the Microsoft Office 365 suite. So that includes programs such as Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams. You get free access as a Columbia College student to that platform. So that will be really helpful when you're completing your courses in the future. Microsoft Teams is a platform that has a chat function, so you can chat to instructors, to staff, to other students in it. So it's like an instant messaging platform. It also has video capability. So some of your orientation meetings with your academic advisor and your student engagement ambassador will take place on Teams. And it also has a team function where you can be put in a group and share resources with each other. And as I've just mentioned, we will share some guides on how to use it. And one of the things that your student engagement ambassador will be doing will be helping you become familiar with the platform so that you can make the most of it.
Perfect. Thank you. Again, just because we're receiving this question a few other times regarding the math placement test, will they get an email notification saying that they need to take the test, or how would they know that they need to take the math placement test?
So all students who have been admitted to a university program, or so university transfer or associate degree program, have to take the math placement test. So expect to have to take it unless you are in a high school grade 10, 11, 12 program. So it's good to start preparing now. If you haven't heard from them already, admissions will be contacting you to schedule your test time and date. If you want to be proactive, you could email and ask, but obviously, we have a process. We also need to know that you're committed and that you're going to register. So that's the important thing. Once you've decided you're going to register and you let us know, we will then be able to move forward and arrange the test date.
Perfect.
I just want to build on this a little bit, Rose and Carolina. We will be sending an email to all paid students this week about confirming your enrollment. Okay, so we're slowly starting to get things coming together. We wanted to give students a little bit more time to see if they've received any news about their visa, but you will be receiving this email from us, so it's very important to respond if you know you're ready to go. Don't hesitate to let that get that form to us, because then, as Rose said, maybe we can start scheduling your MPT or these other things ahead of time. So please watch out in your email that is on file for this confirmation of enrollment this week. If you're not quite sure, you have until December 18th. We'll say this again, but it will be being sent out to all students very shortly.
Perfect. Thank you, Chelsea. So 2 other questions before we wrap up. Why is orientation important? I know we had this whole session talking about orientation. So why would students attend now that it's online? Can everyone have a comment on that?
Yeah, I want to go first.
Yeah.
Because, so orientation is really important, because it's important that you know how. So we help you register, that you understand your program and you understand the requirements, so that you have the information you need to make decisions, not only now, but in the next few semesters while you're completing your program at Columbia College. It's a really good opportunity to meet new people. But I always think that the most important thing about orientation, aside from registration, is that we will help you understand what to do if you need help. So if you need help in any matter, whether it's academic, it's private, it's a social thing, we want you to know how to ask us for help. So to me, that's the most important and exciting part of orientation, is that we give you that information so that you can be successful, whatever your goals are. We just want you to be successful at Columbia College, and we want to make sure you have the information that you need to do that.
If I could add to that, it's, from my perspective, it's about academic success. It's to set you up to be a strong student from day one. If you miss orientation, then you'll be scrambling during the first week of classes, trying to figure out what platforms to use, how to access help, who to ask questions if you have any, the etiquette around, maybe contacting your instructors or anybody at the college. So orientation is an opportunity to learn and get to know advisors, to learn about your program, but also to really get to know your Cs. I just want to stress how important your connection with Cs will be. So during orientation, today you have many different questions, but as you go through the process of registration, there's going to be many more questions that you will think of. And being able and knowing how and who to ask those questions will really help you be as prepared for your first week of classes as possible. I do believe that if you start strong in week one, you have a better chance of success in that class. So being familiar with platforms, being familiar with services will definitely add to your academic success. So for me, orientation is of course the social aspect is very important. Getting to know your peers, getting to know staff members at Columbia College, that all adds to it. But at the end of the day, if you really commit yourself to learn about Columbia College as much as possible and the services that we offer and how we operate, the better you will be off on that, during your first semester, navigating through any kind of questions or issues that may arise. So I strongly would suggest that that you really spend time on your orientation. We've seen it. I've been at Columbia College for over 20 years, let's say. It's more than that. and I can tell you that we can see the difference between the students who really engage in a pre-arrival and arrival and orientation modules, and we can see those students succeed, and students who wait till the first week of classes to start these connections, they miss out on a lot of stuff, and that means they have to catch up during the first week of classes, and the semester goes by really fast. The 14 weeks, you will be shocked how quickly those 14 weeks will pass, how quickly after first week of classes you will be talking about midterm exams. So you really don't want to start limping in the beginning and having maybe issues with technology or not knowing how to do this or that, or who to connect with if you have an issue. So I strongly recommend that that you do take your time with orientation. It should be fun.
I just want to build on this for Anna, for all of you guys. Basically, there's lots and lots of steps to get you to the point where you're going to start classes. So within admissions and recruitment, this is when we pass you off to the next team. If you keep emailing us, we don't have the answers for you, because now we've successfully got you to the stage where you're ready to start classes. Now we pass it off to the student services team that this is what they specialize in. So you need to kind of think back of all the steps it took you to get to be accepted into Columbia College and have the permission to study here from the government. Now you have to kind of restart this process again of, now I'm communicating with Columbia College staff and I need to learn how to do it at this institution specifically. So this is the most exciting part for us. You arrive, it was successful, you've jumped through all the hoops to get to Canada or still be online. So don't skip this step, because this is kind of the end and the beginning of the next part of your journey overall.
Thank you, Chelsea. Gurjashan, as a student, why do you think other students should attend orientation?
So, as already mentioned, that it helps you make connections. Apart from that, the most important thing is while you transition, before your first day of classes, you have a lot many steps to complete, which include the most important is registration. Orientation tells you how the registration process works. You get to know how to read the complex schedule that we have for our classes, which many times students get confused about. Apart from that, there are all these tiny things about medical insurance and what should students do in this case. So orientation is the basic plan or the backbone for all your studies or your future at the college. If you miss that, I bet that you would be in trouble in the future. So please attend these orientation sessions.
Thank you so much. So I think those are all our questions for today. Is there anything else any one of you would like to add for our students watching?
I would just like to say I'm really excited about getting to know you all over the next few weeks and months. It's difficult that we're not all together in person, and we're really sad that we don't get to meet you face to face, but we will get to meet you face to face in the future. But for now, my main kind of parting point is just reach out to us if you need any help. The email address is there on the screen, studentservices@columbiacollege.ca, and we'll be here to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anything else to add?
Just the last piece here from admissions and recruitment team. If you still have questions or concerned about starting online, about deferral, refund, please reach out to us. The one last message I will have for you is still be a little bit patient. Okay, it's only December 2nd. December 18th is the deadline. And just as a word of positivity, we are having students getting study permits every day now. So you might be anxious waiting for this and trying to go way into the future. Let's still be a little bit calm because there's still quite a bit of time before you need to make this final decision. But we will be here for you by email and messenger every day to help you make that final decision. So don't be afraid to continuously reach out to us before December 18th.
Perfect. Anna Gurjashan, anything you would like to add for the students coming next semester?
Definitely patience. It's the registration moment, because it's quite quick. The registration piece that it's the orientation is leading to is quite fast, and in that moment you will think of all kinds of questions that maybe you didn't think of before. So give us time. We are dealing with large volumes of students. We will be communicating with you as quickly as we possibly can. From my own experience, is your connection on Teams means you'll get to me faster than the student who sends me an email. So someone asked about Teams, and maybe you guys are not familiar with that platform. I strongly suggest that that you start getting familiar with that, because that would be my preferred way as an advisor to chat with you really quickly during the process of registration. And that's what usually happens in the first semester with brand new students. Students are unsure whether they have selected the right courses. So communicate with us as much as possibly you can, but at the same time, please be patient, and sometimes we are available on a weekend, sometimes we are not. So give us time to answer questions, and just enjoy the process. It's a next chapter in your life that you are about to enter, and it's not ideal. We all wish that you were here. I miss so much the days where I could meet you all in person, but Teams is the next best thing. We can do video chats, and we just have to do with the tools that we have right now. But I'm really hoping that in a semester or two, I'll be able to speak to you in person and to get to know you.
Thank you. Oh, Gurjashan, you're muted.
Okay, so on behalf of all the Cs, I would just like to say that we are the fellow students of the college, and please feel free to contact us whenever you have any queries. I know you have to be patient because this whole process is quite complex and there are a lot of steps involved. But whenever you have a question and when you get access to your Teams and Columbia College email, just feel free to send us emails. We will always be there to help you out. Even if we cannot answer you in 1 hour, we'll answer you within 24 hours. So that's the thing that you need to keep in mind, that you need to be patient, but yeah, you need to be sure that you will always get an answer from our side.
Thank you so much, Gurjashan. Again, on behalf of everyone at Columbia College, we're super excited to have you guys joining our community next semester. If you still have any questions that have been unanswered, you can head to our Instagram on our last post. I'll be answering them all there for the next hour. So feel free to go to instagram.com/Columbia College 1936. And if you have any other questions as well, please email studentservices@columbiacollege.ca. Thank you so much for joining our session today. And again, we look forward to having you with us next semester. Bye, everyone.